Hey there, everyone. I am Harrison DeShazo, Associate Wealth Advisor based out of the Austin, Texas office of Waverly Advisors.
My name is Sean Lacey. I'm a wealth advisor here in Canyon City, Colorado with Waverly.
And today we're going to be talking about Generation X, so kind of age 46 to 60, continuing the series we've been doing on financial planning through the generations.
Yeah, this is something that comes up a lot with clients. This is one of the most important decades for financial planning. Earnings potential's up, debt's coming down. This is really the time to get intentional with savings.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing is you still have enough time to build wealth, right? It doesn't just stop here. You still have runway. But if things aren't exactly where you want to be, you still have time to course correct and change some things. So this window can really define what retirement looks like.
Yeah, jumping in, Harrison. I mean, you're working with a lot of clients in this life stage. What's the first thing that really jumps out for you?
Yeah. I think number one is just having urgency. If they're talking to us, I'd say they're doing the right things. They're being intentional about it. It's not a time to panic, but it is time to really find clarity and figure out what retirement is going to look like for them. On the urgency piece, take advantage of the financial opportunities that are available to you. You now, over the age of 50, you can make catch up contributions to 401ks, Roth IRAs, traditional IRAs. Secure Act 2.0 introduced super catch up for ages 60 to 63. So make sure you know what's actually available to you and take advantage of those buckets. Sean, I know you're also working with a lot of clients in this life stage, and they might maybe feel a little bit behind. What are you telling those people?
Yeah, similar to what you just talked about, urgency versus panic, we really talk about don't be discouraged, right? Now is the time to be intentional. We have a lot of clients that feel behind at 50, but like we touched on, this is when you have a higher disposable income, you really can save. We talk about compound interest being the eighth wonder of the world. It's not gone. You still have time, but a shorter runway. So again, those maximizing contributions thing where you can catch up. This is also the time where every dollar needs a job. Some people aren't traditionally huge fans of budgeting. For us, it's more about making sure those lifestyle expenses are validated so that you can retire the way you want. This is also the time where you need the right advisor. This isn't just about an investment strategy, but creating a financial plan and picture to really get you to your next step.
Yeah, I love that. I think another thing that's really critical we talk about is this generation, more than others, is pulled in multiple directions. You probably have kids on this side that are about to go to college, in college, and then you may have aging parents on the other side that need either financial assistance or they just need a lot of time and medical attention. When you're talking to people that have, pressure from both sides, what are those conversations like? What is the advice given to them?
Yeah, this has historically been real tough. We call this the sandwich generation. You are taking care of kids. You're now having those college tuitions hit you. You are having aging parents. Sometimes they need in home care, which is either financial or time commitments on your part. So, how do you make the right steps to choose priorities? So, for us, with our high net worth clients, college funding really isn't optional. It's more so how do we do it in the most tax efficient way to get the most bang for your buck? We have 529 super funding, you have Roth conversions up my accounts. There's all kinds of ways you can financially save and prepare to help your kids. But a real pitfall a lot of people step into is over prioritizing the kids to the detriment of their own savings. We tell our clients truly, you cannot support anybody if you're not financially independent yourself. Um, your kids are now also at the point where they understand money. So having those conversations to instill the values on how you want them to steward their finances going forward. Harrison, I know a lot of your clients are also business owners. How does owning a business change that sandwich generation landscape as well?
Yeah, Sean, I would say pretty significantly. A lot of our business owners have a significant portion of their net worth tied into a business. For the last 20 to 30 years, it has been, hey, how do I grow and maximize that business? And that has been the sole focus. Now that conversation starts to shift to, hey, what do I actually want to do with this? Do I want to sell it 10 years from now? Do I want to pass it down to my children? What's the game plan? And so it's critical to start having those conversations now. Exiting a business is not something that happens overnight. That takes years of planning and really preparation. So I think step one is just identifying what is your goal. And then the second piece of that is a lot of times individuals in this generation have built the business. It's very successful, but maybe their personal balance sheet hasn't really been looked at. Hey, do I actually have the money that I personally need outside of the business to retire? And so So what is that going to look like? I think the most expensive thing you can do in this stage of life is just ignore it altogether. So just make sure you're focused on it, you're looking at it, you're having those conversations. Um, on the side of business investments, I mean, we're talking about a lot of stuff here, but Sean, I don't want to skip over kind of protecting yourself. So maybe shifting gears to estate planning. As you're talking to people in this generation, what are the estate planning conversations? What are the important considerations?
Yeah, estate planning is another thing people often overlook. Sometimes there is this superstition that when I put a will in place, I'm tempting fate, and the short answer is you're tempting fate by not having it in place. Estate plans are no longer optional. What those can consist of is you've got wills, powers of attorneys, beneficiaries, trusts, things like that on your accounts. A lot of people worry about what's going to happen when I die and fail to consider what happens if I don't die. If you're in a car accident, you need medical help. The natural assumption is my spouse will just take care of it, and not without the proper documentation. They're real quick and painless to get done, but often overlooked. When it comes to wills, when it comes to those trusts, making sure they're routinely updated. Historically, we've had people come in for the first time and they haven't looked at a will in 10 years. So while that's helpful, life changes and the will needs to change with it. Um, Beneficiaries is another key topic. Those will pass regardless of your will or trust. So making sure those are updated in conjunction with those estate plans to make sure everything is working on the same page. In the same line of protection, Harrison, what are you guys talking about with the insurance side?
Yeah, great question. I think first and foremost is life insurance, similar to what you said, Sean, about people not looking at their wills for 10 years. I find the same is true for life insurance. It's maybe not the most fun thing to talk about, but likely your need for it 10 years ago is a lot different than it is now. And there's some complexity to that. And so it's important to take a stop, actually look at what you have in place, what you're going to need going forward. The second thing on the insurance side, I would say, is liability and umbrella insurance. You probably have fairly significant assets at this stage of your life, and so with that, you need to make sure those are protected in the event that some outlandish accident happens. And so, really being prepared for kind of all outside scenarios. The biggest thing is just protecting the wealth that you've spent decades building. Sean, I want to end on something that I think really ties all of this together. We've spent most of our time talking about the complexity for this generation. So that leads me to I think there's critical players to have in your life helping you navigate this stage. Who are those people that you really see as non negotiable for clients in this life stage?
Yeah, at this point in time, we've definitely outgrown any one person doing this by themselves. At a bare minimum, you're going to want a financial advisor, a CPA, and an estate attorney. The key here is all of these people need to be working in unison, right? Otherwise, the ship's going in circles. Having a cohesive plan across the board. We touched on business owners, but then you'll also want to add some kind of valuation expert and an exit strategy planner to make sure you have all those pieces in place well before you need them.
Yeah, all great points. I think the most important thing to recognize with that is it shouldn't be scary to have all those professionals working for you. It really should be empowering. It's more resources, which should be more clarity than you've ever had. But important to know you've got less time on your hands than you used to. And so the decisions need to be made with probably some assistance here.
No, and truly, if any of this resonates with you, definitely encourage you to reach out to a Waverly team member in your area, contact Harrison or myself directly. We'd be happy to sit down and see how we can help.
Yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. We will be continuing this series, so stay tuned for the next one.
Thank you.